Clem, and you are watching Turn to the Stars, and today is October 12, 2020, and the Libra New Moon is going to be taking this place on Friday, October 16th, and it marks the center of a cosmic storm we've been and are still experiencing. And the sun and the moon are joined together in Libra, and they're in a direct opposition to Mars retrograde in Aries. And you've been hearing me talk about this every single day, and it is just so important because they're forming a powerful T-square that tells us about influences which are challenging in nature to Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. So most of us have heard the term, as it is above, so it is below, or as it is, so shall it be. So astrology gives us a way to see the effects by the planets that surround us and how they're relating to us and how we're relating to them. And this is because we on Earth are one of the bodies they relate to, and so we relate to them as well. So the planets are basically right now what we would say fighting and creating chaos. And so there's a lot of things breaking down. This theme or themes with this new moon on Friday could feel more magnetized. It could feel more like a full moon than a new moon. A new moon typically is less dramatic, but because of all the dynamic energy between the planets, this could really feel like a full moon rather than a new moon. Full moons bring experiences to full awareness and completion. So we could experience certain things end and certain things begin all at the same time. So watch out for being triggered by others. Be careful not to be pulled into conflict. Be patient, take your time. Remind yourself, I have enough time to get everything done. Things may not be as they seem. Things can feel like they're moving so fast right now. And don't believe what you hear or see, because both Mercury and Mars are retrograde, so we aren't getting the full story. Neptune is in opposition to Venus, and Venus is the ruler of this new moon in Libra. So this is creating deception and confusion. Oppositions are things that come from the outside world, and they're things that we experience that we can't control. We can only control how we react to those experiences. So this means that, pretty much we're not being told the truth, and that we need to be patient. We need to wait and be strategic, and our patience is going to pay off. With this new moon coming, the inspiration is truly with Libra. The symbol is the scales of justice. So the inspiration is to stay centered, balance things out, and work out any conflict and any differences that come up. This energy can make people feel frustrated. It can make them feel angry, and anger never solves problems. So avoid working with people who frustrate you or are very critical. If you can't achieve the goals that you've set for yourself, reschedule and don't be hard on yourself for not being able to complete things right now. Have compassion for yourself and others. The most positive side of Neptune's energy influence here is compassion. And yesterday in my recording, I talked about Chiron, the wounded healer in the sign of Aries, which is the self. And that there is an exercise that I've written for each and every single Chiron in your birth chart, because with Chiron bringing up painful memories for each of us being in the sign of Aries, it's also presenting us with keys or ways that we can feel better. So that's really important to know. And that's what each of the exercises that I've written throughout the years brings is basically a way to feel better, to look at the pain, walk through the pain, and develop strategies for how you can feel better and exercise those. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars loves to move and exercise, but right now that exercise has to be something that we do inwardly with Mars retrograde. So you've been hearing me talk about Mercury, the god of communication, and that it's retrograde in Scorpio. And Mercury is the only planet that can travel through all three states of consciousness, which are the conscious mind, the subconscious, and the unconscious. So when Mercury is retrograde, especially in Scorpio, the energy pulls us deep into the subconscious mind. This can cause communication difficulties, breakdowns, delays, and misunderstandings. If you have to travel, allow time for for delays. Allow time for that, because it's typically one of the things that we can expect while Mercury is retrograde, especially with it being in opposition to Uranus during this retrograde and as it begins. So expect the unexpected, prepare, allow yourself time, think ahead, realize that you're not going to be able to control. And the best thing that you can do is to go with the flow. This is why we want to be careful to not overreact, because we may not have all the facts right now. There is some good news during this retrograde. Around October 25th, the sun comes together with Mercury and shines light on the areas that your mind has been focused on the areas you've been thinking about, on the areas you've been talking about, on the areas where you're looking for clues and looking for answers and where you're revisiting. So whenever the sun shines on something, we can see it. So that's important to be aware of. Also, there's more good news, and that is that this Capricorn cycle will be ending in December around the winter solstice, which is December 21st, and Aquarius will become the dominant energy at that time. So Aquarius is an air sign and is very different from Capricorn, which is an earth energy. And you know, within each and every one of us, all of these energies are present, meaning that our charts have all 12 of the signs, and depending on when we're born and the time and the place, that dictates where these planets will fall and where they are going to be playing out in time in our charts. So we should understand that all 12 signs are influencing all of us. So this air energy, wherever it is in your chart and wherever Aquarius energy begins to communicate, or whatever it is that it's bringing up in your chart, it's going to be a very different type of influence, much lighter than this heavy Capricorn energy, which has brought so much restriction. So there hasn't been a time, this is actually the first time in hundreds of years that air will be the dominant energy on the planet, and it's going to be dominant for the next 200 years. So the Aquarius energy will bring new inventions, innovations, it'll bring freedom, respect for life, and a unity for everyone. I heard another astrologer talking about different communities that were talked about and how they could be self-sustaining, and ideas and new thoughts for how that could happen. So it's kind of exciting to think about that. So this is going to be new energy influence for us here on Earth, and it equates to people first, then the environment, and then together we all benefit. So this is why governments and big business will either change and evolve, or they'll be replaced. This is what is causing the chaos and everything that is breaking from the top down. We're moving into higher vibrations, and this is what I'm calling the cosmic hurricane before the new and the bright new age. The Libra New Moon may reveal the old roles that we each have played, which are no longer who we each honestly and truthfully are. The powerful Pluto influences are telling us there's no other way but to let go of, to purge the old behaviors, responses, and patterns. Pluto's energy demands that we surrender. The cycle we are in is one of taking responsibility and purging. So the best thing to do right now is surrender what is no longer a part of you. Surrender what is changing for you and what is leaving your life right now. Make it a regular day-to-day practice to detach from those things. Do your best to practice conscious awareness, even though Mercury is retrograde and Mercury rules the mind. But you're going to find it's very helpful if you can journal or if you can make notes with all your ideas that you're receiving, because Mercury in Scorpio wants to go deep. It wants to go beneath the surface. It wants to uncover the deepest parts of our consciousness. So right now, it isn't a good idea to judge anything. So just remind yourself to be present, stay connected to your higher consciousness, stay tuned into your intuitive and spiritual guidance. Make notes of what's coming through to you from your higher self and from your intuition. It's good to meditate daily as often as you can, and to take time to ground yourself by going outside, by taking a walk, just being in the fresh air and in the sunshine. It's important to make time to ground yourself and to quiet yourself and to quiet your mind and to connect with your inner being. There will be signs that you will want to pay attention to, especially with this Mercury retrograde and especially with Mars retrograde. For example, say someone contacts you offering you a new opportunity. It's highly likely with this opposition that's taking place between Mars and this new moon, because it's about people coming together also. So this is not really a time to make a decision, but to recognize that this could be a clue. So this could be something that offers you a solution to a problem. It's a very strong possibility. So just make note of this, explore it, research it, because it could be something you end up doing in the future. Do whatever you can to stay focused and present. And ask yourself, does whatever you're experiencing make you feel good, or does it feel like an old idea? So take time to note if your body gives you a message of pain, or if it feels goodness, if it feels good, if it feels light, if it feels different and exciting. That's a clue. Our bodies are very, very intelligent, and we store in our bodies old pain. We store in our body also happy and good memories. So listen to your body. It's really important. With the powerful influences of Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn that are really present with us right now, and especially strong in October, we need to remember their influences do not deny us being successful, but their influences that are very present right now can also, if we try to push forward through something that we're not meant to control, there can be a price that we end up having to pay for taking that type of action. It's not the natural order of things right now. So you may have something come up that's new in business or in relationships. Astrologers have been talking about the Great Reset and how it is guiding each of us to take a new path. However, due to Mars and Mercury retrograde, we may not experience this until after they go direct in the beginning and in the middle of November. Mercury goes direct November 3rd, and Mars, I think it's the 13th of November. This is why this is a good time to study. It's a good time to practice something new and move through difficult times. Whatever's difficult, it's important that you move through it. Recognize it and don't sit in it, move through it. Find ways to move through it. The most important thing is to avoid getting stuck in these difficult past patterns. This is really just a process, and if we can recognize all the good coming from the process and the work and give ourselves credit for continuing our paths, we'll find that we feel much better than if we stay stuck in the fight. I was having this conversation with a friend last evening and recognizing those patterns in my life, and we were recognizing those patterns in their life. And it's a very powerful thing to step back and just take note of that. It's important. It's really important because Mars in Aries is about us, ourselves, who we are, who we've been, and who we're becoming. So we've all been through so much this year, and we need to remember to rest and to play. I especially have to keep reminding myself of that. I'm a Gemini with a Capricorn moon, and Capricorn is work, 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 build, 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 build. And the sun is in my 6th house, so I want to do the very best I can. The 6th house is naturally ruled by the sign of Virgo. So perfectionism is something that I am learning not to be so focused on. So it's really not good for our immune systems, and it doesn't keep us feeling strong. And Libra rules balance. So that's the energy that's coming in. And October is going to be a very shocking month. The intensity and the pressure can throw us off balance, so we need to step back, breathe deeply, and practice detaching so that we can feel some sense of peace during this huge time of transformation. This is one of the biggest things that I know that is challenging me this month. It's challenging everybody. So we are certainly walking hand in hand through this time. So let the universe show you the way to go forward. With Mercury and Scorpio, the energy of the Phoenix is very strong. The story of the Phoenix is that it rises from the ashes, and the message is that there'll be a new us and that we are about to be reborn. So this is both exciting and scary all at the same time. So remember, if something is not working for you, let it go. Be open to the new opportunities. If you're tired, rest. If you feel like you need some warmth, step out into the sunshine. If you need to play a game, get the game out and ask somebody to play the game with you. Libra is about relationships. So think about what it is that you desire. Think about what it is that makes you happy. These will be the clues that you want to follow. So we're all being guided and we're all being asked and really told to pay attention, told to listen. We don't have to figure everything out right now and know everything or know where we're going. We just need to keep an open mind and an open heart. This is going to be a really powerful week for everyone. There'll be more good news to come though, because Venus is in Virgo and it will form a positive aspect or conversation with Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, which are all in Capricorn. And that's that group of planets that we've been facing their influences all year. And so I say the message here is to be practical, practice grounding, and stay grounded to earth in your approach to life, in your work, with your health, with your money. Stay grounded, be practical, and you're going to find that it pays off. Better times are coming. And I just had to kind of chuckle because I chose this background of the earth behind me for today's recording, because it's reminding me to stay grounded also, because I am a Gemini again, and I'm an air sign. So I love to have new things. I love to be creative. I love to explore new things. And so I thought the earth would be a really great background today. So I hope you enjoyed the information. I hope you enjoyed, and most of all, I hope you find this to be helpful. And I want to say thank you for liking and sharing my videos, and thank you for subscribing, and also thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm having a lot of fun talking with you every single day, and I truly appreciate your support for my work. And I'm going to be back tomorrow with more astrology news. So I hope you have a great beginning to your October, and wishing you all a very happy new moon in Libra. Remember, stay balanced, stay connected, and stay grounded. And remember, most of all, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.